Happy Monday. How you doing? How's your weekend? Hope you had a great weekend. Let's see. Well, I heard a couple things. Um, quite sure maybe more is going on, but it'll catch up to me eventually. It'll catch up to me. I'll hear about it. I did hear Java's going on more rants today, Brian. I know he watched your video when he talked about how he had his head down and he looked all depressed. Said he mentioned something about that. Somebody said I had my head down because I was depressed. No, I just didn't feel good. I had a stomach ache. What happened? You ate a bad hot dog at your free mucho lunch at the senior center? You ate something bad? Hey, don't complain. Beggars can't be choosers. Uh, said, yeah, still hasn't got the soldering. Still hasn't got the base pan back on it. How many fucking months and months and months has it been for these things? You know, still hasn't even got the old starter off it. Was something wrong? Unless I heard wrong in all this time. I've had starters go out. I've had people, hey, my starter shit to bed. Can you do a starter? First thing I did was go there and took the starter off. Those cases, I brought it back. So that way, you have to take it back later. Get your core charge back. At that time, I think it was $15. I don't know what it is today. And see what's going on. Bring it with you. Make sure when you buy one, okay, it's the same one. You know what I mean? Whatever. Still don't run. Interior's still a fucking mess. Seats are all chewed up. The headliner is still sagging like his fucking chins. Nothing's been done on it. So once in a while, I grab a piece of sandpaper and sand a fender or a door, so you can hit it with more rattle can spray paint. Even though, I heard he, what else was it? Oh, I heard something real bad. I'm going to save that for last. I warn you in advance. It's very sad, tragic news for Java, so try not to laugh, okay? Just asked about the house. Said something about the Zillow listing that has it in pre-foreclosure. So that's going to be coming down. But he says things, Brian, and you can tell he's answering only because I think he's forced into it because people keep asking him and asking him and asking him and asking him. So he's kind of like forced to give an answer, but you can see he's not happy about it. He says, well, that Zillow listing that shows him pre-foreclosure is going to be down in a couple of days. Okay, Java, I'll go look in a couple of days. I have the link saved to that. And then he said, hold on one second. Sorry about that. I had to step away for a minute. He said something about oh yeah, I do recall that. See, Java, if you don't say these things, myself, no one else would have a fucking single thing to say. But you yourself put out everything, except what a guy's going to pick up and hold. So that is far too important for anyone to have to know about. Okay. And I went and looked. Oh yeah, it was listed at one time because they have a history on all that, and they showed it properly. Just gave a little more information than Zillow did. Oh yeah, it was listed on Remax. It was sold a long time ago. Is that when your parents bought it before you got it? It sold for $98,000. And it gave the lot size, square footage of the house. Oh yeah, you're living on the Ponderosa there, pal, with all that land. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Just because there's a lot of trees next to you don't mean that's your fucking land. When I was married, my wife and I, we had a house in Pine Hill Acres, and all of it was on the back of that cul-de-sac. There were no houses behind us. It was just land, all trees. It was all wetlands. That's why I never built anything there. Any more streets. It was nice in that respect. Stretching out almost a half mile to Route 140 at night, you know, in the winter when you see the headlights going by in the distance. But I didn't have a fence there. We all had a fence ending our property lines. You know, it wasn't a fence here. People, oh, is you own that land? I own all that land out there. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Even if I did, my neighbors did. Couldn't do a damn thing with it. Too many fucking trees and big trees. Land you can't use. You can't do anything with it. You know what I mean? Yep. He told people that Remax isn't going to list his house for sale until he tells them to, because he wants to be in control of the situation. Oh yeah, Jabba, we know how good you are at taking control of the situation. We see where you ended up taking control of your own life. Taking control of your health. How many cigarettes a day you smoking now? You up to a pack? Huh? Yeah. Yep. I know a little bit about real estate due to my ex-wife's cousin Danny. You know, real estate thing. They work with a bank in foreclosures. The bank tells them what to do. And these properties now are at a point where it's beyond even wanting to take the time to list it and then show the house. They just set up an auction date. It gets announced in local newspapers and all local publications. I know we have it here in the Standard Times. See, foreclosures. At this date, at this time, at this address, there will be an auction on a foreclosed property, and people show up. Says realtor. He says, you know, Uncle? They still call me Uncle. We've even bought some properties. We show up and we see the bids are so low and the house happens to be nice. And we say, wow, we'll buy this ourselves and we'll flip it. You know? Says, and we've seen properties, you show up and the places are fucking... The bank still lost their shit. Still take whatever they can get for it. You know? And depends on the property. That fucking dump you have, really? You really think you're going to get over 300 grand for that? Someone's going to go there in an auction and buy it for over 3? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Right. It's not in your control at all. You're in a situation you're in right now because you did take control of things. Look where it got you. Now he's saying, oh, well, still no pod. I heard he tried to do something with the Bel Air. What the fuck was it? He did try putting the bass pan in. Said, and he was yelling and swearing. That's when he went off his nut, a full mental meltdown. Says you couldn't see him though. I guess he sets up his phone on a tripod because you got to get that whole Bel Air, you know, in frame. You got to see that eye candy. You know what I mean? Yeah, you got to see that eye candy. He was on the backside. You couldn't even see his fat legs sticking up from under the car. All you heard was him yelling and swearing and banging things with a wrench, and he went fucking spastic. Then he gave up. Then he was saying that, well, he doesn't have to leave. Someone asked him. Well, he doesn't have to leave. He can stay a little longer if he wants because he has a mortgage payment. You ever made a mortgage payment how many fucking months? You know, oh, I'm going to make one payment. You're going to let me keep squatting here? Yeah, right, Jabba. Whatever you say, Jabba. Whatever you say. Then he says, well, he wants to leave because he can't afford the upkeep. What upkeep? You haven't spent a fucking penny on any landscaping, that's for sure. You haven't spent a penny on any upkeep on the fucking house. It's a fucking rundown shack. It's a rundown shack. What upkeep? The upkeep is a mortgage. Gonna have property taxes. I know about that. Believe me, all too well with my brother, especially the rentals we own and our own personal residences. Insurance, water bill. Once you have a well, then you don't have a water bill. Get utilities, gas, electric, whatever, you know, get your cell phone. You told people yourself, you still have some payments left on that Jeep. You're going to have insurance on that Jeep if you got a bank loan out on it. Better put gas in it. You know. And you told people one time your disability check is $1,300 a month. Wow. Now I can understand why you can't afford shit and you're mooching free meals. And you're not paying your mortgage. They're gonna let you stay if you make one payment. How are you gonna do that? How are you gonna do that? Hey, check this out. Then he says, hey, Brian. Then he says in the next breath, well, he wants to leave anyway because he doesn't like it there. It's too secluded. People can't see his Bel Air when they drive by. I said, what? He says, yeah, people can't see his Bel Air when they drive by. If they could see it, cars would be stopping, people would be stopping to get out to go and look at it. Now he thinks it's fucking Mount Rushmore or the Eiffel Tower or something where it's a national fucking landmark, you know? People want to see that car so fucking bad. Hey, look at that. Hey, mister, can you start it up for us? No. Unbelievable, this fucking guy. Says, and he said a few other things. Now, I warned you ahead of time. It's very sad, tragic news for Java. His Facebook girlfriend in Virginia dumped him. She dumped him. Somebody asked if he was still going to go to Virginia to be with her. He said no. She broke off all communication with him. He doesn't know why. She stopped answering his calls. She won't respond to any of his messages on Facebook. Won't respond to any of his texts. She just dumped him. Then he says, hey, Brian, he says, well, he's glad he found out now, sooner than later, that she was no good. I says, what does he mean by no good? He said, I don't know. That's what he said. The one thing he's glad is that, you know, he found out now, sooner than later, that she was no good. He lost the love of his life, his Facebook lover. You know. But I'm thinking no good. Maybe that was a blessing in disguise. You know, Java says things that it lets you know exactly how he feels about certain things and certain people. Like they say, you get someone drunk or pissed off, the real them comes out. He got pissed off and used the N-word, ran right to it with no hesitation. He got upset talking about women when he was bashing his ex-wife, calling her a drunk and a drug addict. He went a step further, saying that, you know, women are no good. You know, they have STDs because women these days don't know how to keep their legs closed. They all get STDs. That's why he doesn't have a girlfriend, doesn't want one, because they're all full of STDs. But he found a perfect woman on Facebook in Virginia that kept her legs closed, had no STDs. She was saving her pussy for the right man to come along, and that was him. Maybe that was a blessing in disguise that she dumped him. Maybe she lied. And she was opening her legs for other guys. And Jabba would have got there. Could you imagine the two of them having sex in bed? He's rolling her in flour to try to find a wet spot. He's huffing and puffing and grunting, trying to be able to roll over to get on top of her. They have sex, and then he ends up at a doctor's office with a STD. And his dick is all shriveled up and green, and it looks like E.T. So maybe she did Jabba a favor after all. And I gotta get going. I have some things to do. Tomorrow, I'm not too sure about tomorrow. I got an early start at the VTH. Play it by ear as the week goes along. The residual effect of my Uncle Brian left the weekend. Friday through Sunday. I got more for next weekend. Oh yeah. You know, proper planning and preparation is always essential to have any chance of any success in anything you're doing. So I make sure I plan ahead for next weekend. During the week, no lifters during the week. So anyway, that's the latest I heard on Java. You know, He said, nothing's getting done. He's talking for hours and hours again. He talks about he's got to do this, got to do that. He says, then Abraham, he plops his fat ass and belly down on a fucking stool in front of the Bel Air with all these things that need to be done. And then he'll sit there for hours talking while he grabs an old piece of metal or bracket, a hinge or something. It's all fucking rusty, and he'll sit there scraping rust off and then say, look, does that look good or what? That's what he does. Okay, peoples. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you had fun. Hope you stayed safe. Our Patriots lost yesterday. In overtime again, they should have won. I was in touch with Wilkes, and his Chiefs were playing. And it's kind of funny. The team that we beat last week, his Chiefs are playing them. I said, well, if our Patriots could beat them, your Chiefs should walk all over them with these. I'll tell you what, they put up one hell of a game. It was a nail biter right down to the very end. Chiefs won with a last-minute field goal. Anyway, that was it for Football Sunday. Have a great day. Have fun and stay safe.